You're watching the Eternal Tournament Series.
And we are back for more coverage of the Eternal Tournament Series Season 5 Invitational. This is round 2, but it's losers bracket round 1. We'll be covering the matches this round that were maybe on some players that were on the unfortunate side of variance or just matchups in the last round, as these players are playing for their invitational lives. They've all lost a match already, and if they lose this one, they're out. So 8 players are getting eliminated here, and we're going to be catching all the carnage. And joining me in this booth that's now resembling a game of musical chairs is Chibikawaii. Mark, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad I was able to step in. Hopefully, Loco Pojo will be back, but until then, you get my, docile tones. It's good things.
Oh, yeah, good stuff. So let's break down the matchup that's in front of us here. We've got Unearthly of Large Cursor and Rakano fame playing, you guessed it, Rakano Plate. You can mark that on your bingo board for all the viewers at home. And he'll be going up against Balak, who is on Argenport mid-range. So let's break this down, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with the Argenport list, because I don't think we need to spend too much time on other.
Yeah, because it looks very similar to what he was running last week anyway, but I'm pretty excited about Balak's deck. I know you are not a fan, but
I like this.
I can get behind a Voltron deck centered around Bartholo.
Yeah.
And the little Falchion action. Do we have no Hammer Mites? That's
right.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is not really a Voltron like aggro deck. There's a reason why Balak's calling this mid range. While it does have Bartolo and Lethrai Falchion combo, really it's just singular powerful threats. Other than Bartolo, right? Valkyrie Enforcer, Impending Doom, Stir of the Past, Mako, Umbran Reaper. We went over this deck in the pregame show, and it's just none of these units need Hammer of Might or weapons to be put on them to be good. Mm-hmm. They just are good, and Slay, Vanquish, Annihilate will keep the path clear for them. You know, this isn't a Silverwing familiar with Hammer of Might kind of all-in Voltron build of mid-range. It's a bit more consistent and powerful than.
For sure. Now I'm looking. Who do you think's got the upper hand?
Yeah, this is Deep Forge Plate's a good card, but and the 4 protects from Unearthly I really like. But there's some interesting things going on in Unearthly's deck. Normally you see Rakano play about 10 2-drop units. Unearthly's playing 16.
Yeah.
He's playing Champion of Glory, Crown Watch Paladin, Outlaw, and Overseer. It's not like you're picking one over the other. He just picked all of them.
Yeah, that is interesting. I've been like, when I've been playing Rakano on ladder, I've been doing a little bit of a split, but I haven't gone full in on the Crown Watch Paladin and the Tinker Overseers. Plays at a 4 each. So I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Normally you've seen Tinker Overseer take the place of Paladin or vice versa, and instead Unearthly's going all of them, going super low and not playing Oni Ronin anywhere. So there's this is almost a bigger Rakano, if you want to call it. But yeah, he's basically playing Crown Watch Paladin over Oni Ronin. So I know we've said this is same old Rakano. It's not. There's certainly some interesting choices going in here with Torch in the sideboard, no Oni Ronins. This is a little bit bigger, ready for a longer game than what we're used to, trying to, I don't know what. I've seen this kind of style in action. I mean, at the same, it's still just units with weapons and Warcry, but it's certainly a different take.
It seems like he's very much hedging against a whole bunch of control decks coming in with the 4 protects and the 4 Crown Watch Paladins, like getting that Aegis, because I was sitting here trying to figure out, like, is the Crown Watch Paladin actually that much better than the Oni Ronin, considering they have the same actual stats, just Crown Watch Paladin has Aegis and cost of power more, but that costing of power more, I feel like, is pretty relevant.
Yeah, and it's maybe the most surprising part is, like, I could understand maybe making this meta call to not even main deck Oni Ronin, but to not even have him in the side for certain matchups. That's surprising stuff. So we'll see how this works out for Unearthly, where you have slightly higher quality threat, but not quite as much speed. And I think that will work out in this matchup, especially where you have less things exposed to the incidental Varus favor, which Balak plays for of. But as we see in Balak's hand here, as this game is.
Yeah. So I'm looking at openers. I'm liking I'm liking Balak's hand a little. Well, I'm not quite sure, but we are going to see Unearthly go ahead and run out that Diplomatic Seal to go ahead and get a Justice Power.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to give him all of his influence, so that's pretty good.
Balak gets to open on an Argenport Instigator, and Unearthly is thinking to himself, why are my 4 torches in the sideboard right now? Does not have a great solution to the problem in front of him right now. So this Instigator is going to bash in, though. So Balak is, I'm guessing, just going to pop the Aegis on this 2-1 and let it start rolling in with Warcries. A little surprised that Balak opted to attack there rather than force Unearthly to have something. And I would be shocked if Balak passes without using Barris Favor here. But he does. Again, I mentioned Unearthly doesn't have any things that die to Barris Favor, and Balak's sitting on a 4-drop in hand, 5-drop.
Yeah, if nothing else, for the guaranteed power drop next turn, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not even that you have to pop the Aegis here. I'm just shocked that he didn't use Barris Favor. Now it's just going to be sitting awkwardly in hand as Balak has 3 4-drops. Just a very odd play from Balak.
Oh man, and this Protect is about to come out.
Yeah,
because I see zero reason not to do it, especially when you had the Finest Hour in hand. Yeah, we are going to see that Protect. Ooh,
yeah,
Outlaw sticking around.
Yeah, Outlaw sticking around, and now Unearthly can just jam the A space, have Finest Hour up, and Balak is way behind on a board that I really don't think he had any business being behind on.
No, I completely agree, because imagine if this Impending Doom was already on the board.
Or even Steward of the Past, and you would have been able to pop an Aegis. So now he's just sitting with like these 4-drops that are uncastable, and Unearthly has total control of this board. Balak crucially finds a 4th power here, but we'll see if this Impending Doom can hold off these units.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, in this Impending Doom, this turn should be a 9/6 lifesteal flying, but which should, I mean, at that point, I don't think Balak even cares about Unearthly attacking.
Yep, Unearthly's still going to jam the A space, though. Hoping Balak, doesn't. If Balak wants to play around Finest Hour, that means you would block the 2-1 on the ground.
Well, that still doesn't play around Finest Hour.
Yeah, so that's what Balak does. I mean, it still trades the unit instead of losing completely.
Okay, fair
enough. Balak realizes, you know what? Maybe I should call the bluff here, because if they have Finest Hour, can I even? That's kind of the question you need to be asking now, is Balak, and we'll see what he ends up on. Ooh, all right. So yeah, great play by Unearthly here to jam that A space. I love it, and it pays off real well.
Yeah, and now we're sitting at 14. However, this Falchion is going to come.
I don't know if it'll come down here.
Well, you don't think so? Swing for 9, go back up to 23.
Now that you drew Enforcer, I really like popping Aegis, getting Enforcer down, dominating the sky.
Sure.
You could even you could silence the quick draw. But looks like he's opting to silence the 4/3.
Yeah, I like silencing the quick draw more, because that's the ability that actually matters.
Yeah, that seemed like the least appealing thing to silence from my perspective, was like the biggest unit. I would have rather taken out a flyer or the quick draw. But Unearthly rips a hammer off the top with those war cries that he built up over the last turn. And now it's decide what to give +5 play.
I think you give it to the Outlaw, right? You give it to Rakano Outlaw.
Yeah, I mean, usually you value these flyers in terms of like evasion, but Balak's deck conveniently has a ton of flyers, so it's not like flying means a ton here. But I still like enabling the quick draw unit, especially when your opponent could have a Steward of the Past lurking, although Balak.
Exactly, and he can Unearthly can also double block here too to clear up if he wants to clear up the Impending Doom, or you can simply trade to get that Valkyrie Enforcer out of there.
But the hammer does go on the Outlaw, 7 damage coming in that Balak's looking at and deciding, do I chump block here? What am I doing now? I don't love a chump block here, especially because if you Falchion up, say, your Impending Doom, your 3/3 flyer still theoretically trades with some of the other things coming in. But this is not a good spot for Balak, sure.
Yeah, it's not great. Even the double block won't work, obviously, because of quick draw. Quick draw will kill one of the units, and then the other unit ends up smashing in, but obviously neither one of these units have 7 power, so...
And Balak does opt to chump block. And we'll have to find an answer to this outlaw soon. But in the meantime, Unearthly got 4 war cries on top of the deck as well. Balak finds another impending doom. Woof.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Umbrum Reaper should do at least a little bit to help stem the tides. Well, I guess it depends if he just keeps swinging in with only the Rakano Outlaw, which I guess would be the smarter line. There's no reason to attack with anything else. So, all right, yeah, this gets a little bit more.
Yep.
Less good.
Cracks
Less
in for another 7, 1 war cry, so that's 4 war cries on top of the deck for Unearthly. And yep, Chump City for Umbrum Reaper gets Balak back up to 17, and maybe this is where you think about I might have to race this 7/7 with but I think you got to wait one more turn. It's a rough spot to be in, though.
Yeah, I mean, do you play out the other Impending Doom, or the other or the Steward of the Past here?
I think whatever you do, I would go Impending Doom because it can hold off the other flyers and start swinging with my first Impending Doom and resign myself to taking you're going to go really low if you start swinging with this Impending Doom, but it also can give you a shot at lethal next turn before whatever has Warcry 4 shows up, and that's kind of my concern. I just think trying to hold out hope that you find an answer to the 7/7 is not what I would do here. But again, I like taking risks when I need to take risks when I'm behind in a situation like this. I think that's one of the ways you win this game is sneak out a kill out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, he actually does have 10 answers to it still left in the deck. Sure,
that is fair. So you could go the conservative route and keep chump blocking it. Ugh. But we'll see what Balak decides to do here. I think any way you slice it, I would use the Varus favor here, but I guess you have the option of just using it in combo with anything else in the future anyways.
Yeah, I like using it as well, though, because it's also going to, not that deck thinning does a ton, but it gives you a guaranteed power drop this turn. You get to play 2 cards out,
right,
and then you'll have a 6 power next turn.
Right, and having 6 power next turn is the important thing when your deck's playing 3 Annihilate, 4 Vanquish. Being able to guarantee that you play a threat plus removal next turn is really important. So yeah, we see Balak opt to not hold the Varus favor this time, maybe learning a lesson from earlier in the game. Looks like some connection issues for Balak. Everybody's having internet issues, and now not going to use this Varus favor. Man, what is I realize it can be valuable at popping Aegis, but right now your opponent has no units with Aegis in play. But yeah, opts to just play the Falchion and jam.
Yeah, I'm relatively okay with this.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to get the second Doom out first and plan on Falchioning the next turn, but
I agree.
Goes with the Falchion this turn instead and just gets that life gain right away. Gives Unearthly less shots of having lethal here by taking this line.
And also kind of a fun interaction is Impending Doom's end of turn trigger where it deals 1 damage to yourself. Now that he has lifesteal, it's a wash. It does actually no damage. So
this does force Unearthly now to start chump blocking with flyers. Balak draws undepleted power as well, and we'll either play out another Impending Doom or a Steward of the Past here. And again, I like using Varus favor here just in case you draw Slay, so you can play a unit plus Slay next turn. I think those little edge cases matter more than holding Varus favor. But so far, I think that means Balak's not going to use Varus favor that way. But you have to imagine this Impending Doom is going to jam in here. It can't block your opponent's biggest threat anyways. Get that guaranteed life again.
And we know that whatever's on top of the deck has 5 or 6 Warcry triggers now, right?
Yeah, I think now it's up to, let's see, Hammer plus 1 plus... I think it's up to 5 Warcry triggers, something like that, but it might have lost count. It may have swung. Yeah, that was the 3rd time it swung. So yeah, 6 Warcries. It's big. Whatever's on top, it's big.
It's very big, and if it's a weapon, even if it's especially if it's a Deep Forge plate, I think that's just game. Right?
Oh yeah, any kind of large weapon going to, especially Deep Forge plate's gonna get Balak pretty close to dead, which is why I think it'll be important to which 4-drop he opts to play here. But in the meantime,
and Unearthly is playing 3 Deep Forge plates, so it's not an unlikely possibility.
Yeah, but Unearthly can also whiff on this Warcry
Very true.
before he dies. So I expect another Impending Doom to come out here from Balak. Doesn't have to chump block with it, and now in case Balak draws another Lethrai Falchion, could have lethal with either Impending Doom, which is a big deal. And I guarantee you he's not going to use this Varus Favor. Ooh,
that's a draw.
That's a good thing to get 6 Warcries on. A Silver Wing Familiar.
Wowie, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
We might see Balak get paid off for holding on to this Varus Favor. As playing around Silverwing Familiar being the thing that gets all the war cries. Can pop the Aegis, but doesn't draw the removal for it.
So the question is, though, if... No, there's no way that... Well, I guess you just chump with the Tinker Overseer, right? If the suited up Impending Doom swings in?
It's an interesting question. It might just be better to trade right away so that you guarantee the Impending Doom stops swinging at you in the future. It might just be in your best interest to shut it down now. Yes, you could start cracking back with your own 7/7 flyer, but then you're back to having the problem of you don't have an answer to this Impending Doom because you're also swinging with your 7/7 lifesteal flyer. So it's an intriguing question, but we're not going to know until Balak swings, and Balak is thinking about not swinging here, which the swing at least forces. Playing against a deck with like deep forge plates, that's a risky proposition. All you're going to be doing is drawing more mediocre mid-range threats against a 7/7, and all your units are 5/5, just not having good time.
I agree completely. I don't think staying back is the right line for this turn. And I hope that seat gets played. It has to, right, this turn?
Yeah, the seat will get played here. There's no reason to slow roll that. But again, I don't want to make any predictions because I just end up looking silly. Because, it looks like Unearthly does opt to go with the chump block and hope to find more stuff to put on this bird.
Time to get aggro.
Well, he's been aggro. It's just
or even more. Now we're going to be attacking with 2 units a turn. It's a big day. It's a big day.
Balak goes back to 25. We'll go down to 24 because only one Impending Doom will damage. The other will cancel it out with the lifesteal. But all right, let's see. Oathbook shows up for Unearthly. So that means he could choose to hold back the bird, keep it up for defense now, and just keep getting the 7/7 bigger. But I don't know if that's what you want to do here.
I actually kind of like just getting in with the outlaw, leaving the 7/7 bird back.
Yeah, if you swing with both outlaw and bird, you go up to 15, but your opponent has 14 attack already in play. And you know they run Varus Favor, so that is a risky move. Instead, looking to swing with just the bird here, does take you out of swing plus Varus Favor. You go to 6, right? Instead of 15.
Yeah, he'll go to... Interesting.
So if Balak draws another weapon here, GG, but that is not the case. Instead, we see an Inquisitor Mokdo come down. So Balak does swing with both here. Does not want to have the double block available for the bird because you're not getting lethal here. This is one off lethal unless you also swing with Steward, and then I don't hate it as much.
Well,
I don't like this attack.
Yeah, not a fan.
All right, but this could still work out. I mean, this bird has to sit back now, basically, as Unearthly whiffs on the draw step again. So I guess that's the reason to swing with the 5/5 is this bird is not going to swing anyways here unless they draw a weapon. I think that's the thought process. And Unearthly is like, why was this Oathbook not?
Here? Because even if the bird attacks, it gets pumped to a 9/9. That just puts Unearthly up to 11. I do like attack. I do like attacking.
Yeah, you attack here, but this is now looking bad for Unearthly, right? Because if Balak basically ace spaces the next turn, the bird will put Unearthly back to 10. But that means any 2 flyers getting through are lethal. So I was a little too quick to admonish that 5/5 Impending Doom attack from Balak. That actually was a really good play. just didn't quite think it through as well as Balak did. And Unearthly just going to swing with the 4-3 as it be 5-4.
I feel like I just let that through, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's a
Gem Blade. Okay, so Gem Blade can just take Impending Doom totally out of range and make it a must block unit, so you don't
which
have
still
to
leads to
A space or anything like that. But
yeah.
I think I still would, because A space is awesome. Yeah, that's what Balak does. Looks
I
like
agree.
Looks like he'll manage to take this one. So Unearthly gains enough life to go to 10, and then falls down to 0. With
Good game. Congratulations to Balak.
Yeah. Yeah, those were some swingy draws at the end, and Falchion showing off what it can do. Unearthly never finding a Vanquish to deal with the big impending doom with the Falchion, and all that life gain just too much to race. The bird not showing up quite soon. So we're going to go to sideboards. This is a best of 3. So we'll see what happens here.
What do we think? What do we think is coming in? I like. I don't know that. I don't mind the torches that much, even if they end up just popping like pages. Like
let's see.
I don't
Torch
know.
can hit Instigator, Enforcer, and Reaper. Yeah, it's really a question of what Unearthly doesn't like in this matchup. I think Unearthly built this deck kind of with this matchup in mind. Like, my opponent's going to be playing Bear's favor. Like, the players knew who they were paired against in the first round, and that's why we didn't see Oni Ronin, stuff like that. Like, getting ready for this kind of matchup. But it looks like he already had the sideboard ready. Rakano Plate versus Argenport here, and it looks like sort of Vicarious might be coming to help deal with Bart, just respecting that. Just one of those weapons as another good Warcry target, even though it's not the most efficient thing against Impending Doom and Steward of the Past and Octo. But
yeah, and it looks like the finest hours went away. I'm looking.
Okay, yeah, that's reasonable.
I'm looking over at Balak's screen. It looks like Balak's trimming some of the rune hammers. Or are they going up in rune hammers?
I'm not sure. Balak starts on 4 rune hammers, so we're looking at it at 2. So that means trimming. Yeah, trimming. Steward and rune hammer.
They were hovering over the plus for a little bit too, so that's why I was like, all right, well, what are they doing? All right, and Falchion goes down to 3 as well.
Yeah, Unearthly has so many different threats here. It's like Impending. Steward of the Past is good against Paladin, but the rest of the units are flyers and quick draw units that can get larger than Steward of the Past. So while it can hold off units until they get large, once they get large, it's not doing it.
Yeah.
Looks like instead Balak wants more proactive removal, like Extract, to remove the units before they get to.
Yeah, he went 2 Extract, 2 Suffocate there.
Yeah, I like that. Just getting the cheaper removal.
Yeah.
Just trying to prevent these Warcry units from rolling before they get more Warcries or more weapons.
And it looks like he trimmed a Steward of the Past and then went back up to 3 rune hammers. One more card that he's decided.
One more card, and then we'll see the challenges. Still keeping the Bards. Not a card you always want against aggro, but it's the way the deck's built. I don't think you can afford to change the threats too much.
Balak bringing in a protect here. I like that. I can get
one
behind
of protect for the
tilt.
I
can get behind it. 100% improve.
Okay, so Balak will hopefully decide on the final 75 here. And yeah, there we go. So challenges will be out real shortly here. Both players are ready. And there we go. Game number 2 in this losers bracket. Both players playing for the lives. Unearthly down a game to Balak. Balak up 1-0. So if Balak wins, moves on, stays alive in the tournament.
Oh, wow.
And Unearthly would get sent home. And Unearthly doesn't want to get... Oh, he probably is already at home. This is an online game. But, would prefer to keep playing in the tournament.
Easily could be on his phone on a cruise ship. We don't know.
I don't think you can get a cursor that large on the phone.
Yeah, it's all right. It happens. It's a very complicated procedure, and I wouldn't want to bore you
All
with the
right.
details.
So here we go. Game is underway. Unearthly has the Tinker Overseer into Paladin Oathbook, making it a 4/4 maneuver that we love so much, but doesn't have any sources of fire. But pretty happy to see double Vanquish up.
Yeah, and Suffocate immediately coming out from Balak there to take care of the old, take care of that old Tinker Overseer.
Yep, but Unearthly finds a fire source, gets this outlaw out, and Balak finds Vera's favor, but doubt they'll use it here, and instead opting to get an Argent Port Instigator onto the.
All right, there's going to be another fire source, another what was that? Another banner that was just played to give him a second fire influence and a fourth justice. Okay.
Yeah, undepleted fire source, double fire acquired for Unearthly. Every card in his deck is castable unless he brought in some Soulfire Drakes. Balak finds a Slay, can deal with this outlaw if he so chooses, but could go with a Steward or a Falchion here instead. Falchion would be a little bit of a surprising move, I would say. So I expect something like Steward or Slay to show up, but no, looks like Balak just wants to race and force Unearthly to be on the back foot. Debating. Thinking about it.
I honestly, I just like this. I just like playing Slay and then getting in for 3.
I kind of like playing Steward here and forcing them to like commit more to this outlaw and then make Slay better.
Okay. All right.
But Balak's thinking, hey, it's committing to Falchion to something early. That can be good, right?
I guess just trying to pull as far ahead as possible. Yeah.
I just don't think you're racing quite hard enough to want the Falchion right now.
All right. Going with the Steward to the fast line.
Yeah, swings with the Instigator. Sees no pause, which is an important thing to note against an opponent that could be playing Protect, Finest Hour, Torch. Goes with the Steward. Unearthly now would have to commit something else to this outlaw to push it through Steward of the Past, and doesn't have it. And there we go. Board stall achieved for the Argent Port.
Yeah, with the second Slay, I was like, there's no reason not to go ahead and take care of that outlaw now.
Yep, and Balak here opting to save the Vera's favor again for Aegis units. Doesn't need to cast this Mokto anytime soon, and Unearthly draws 7th power and is not happy with this situation. Might get some messages out real soon, or even a concession, as Balak naturally draws the 5th power, but opts to jam the Falchion rather than jam Mokto here. Sure, quickens the clock. Unearthly has the Vanquish at least. Saves the Oathbook. No reason to deploy it here. Might be able to buff up a Tinker over.
Vara's favor off the top is lethal. Nah, that's not a Vara's favor.
No Vara's favor, just more big flying threats that will kill Unearthly. So Unearthly finds a Tinker Overseer, can make it into a 4/4 and kill the 5/5 flyer, but that's not solving the issue that he's dead.
Yeah, that is an issue.
Yeah. So this will get passed over to Balak. He sees a tapped out opponent with 1 threat in play.
No,
could just go for the double Vera's favor.
Do it classy.
Yeah, Vera's favor lethal is best lethal, and Balak will choose to do that. First one goes to the face.
Yeah.
Second one goes to the face. And that's the match. Good. Unearthly is out.
Congratulations to Balak, and congratulations on Unearthly to make it into the season ending here.
Yeah. So Balak advances to losers bracket round 2. Only has to make it through, 8 more rounds to get to the finals. So that's a lot of matches to win in a row. But hey, you got to start somewhere. So Balak takes that one down 2-0. And while we had some backup matches ready, they're all done. This was the longest match, as it does get hung up a bit by coverage. So that is all of losers bracket round 1. We'll be returning with more coverage in just a moment for winners bracket round 2. We'll go back to the top end where nobody's lost yet for the next round and figure out who Balak's opponent, among others, will have in the next round of losers.
All right. See you then.